thought I'd go live and just see if anybody could find me and pop in, see what's happening. Hope everybody's doing great out there. I don't know how my volume is yet. See, I'm gonna need some people to chime in on that if they can. And yeah, welcome. This is just Wowie in his backyard. I got Noni, my cat, back here with me, and we're just gonna do some power carving. Now, for those of you that might be watching or might watch later, power carving is carving with power tools, basically. I carve with a Dremel 3000 rotary machine on a Flexshaft, and I'm a Kutzall affiliate. Now you see that little Burr up there? That's a Kutzall Burr, okay? We are Kutzall affiliates, and there's a link down there in description below. If you use our affiliate link and then go, it takes you right into the shop, and then you can do your shopping and whatnot. And then when it's time to check out, you'll have an automatic discount applied. But if there's a spot for a promo code, it's DIB5, DIBB, all capital letters and 5, all one, DIBB5. Yeah, and that's the affiliate code, and then you get to save some money and get really, really awesome tools. I don't see if we got anybody on here yet. We'll just keep going. And hopefully somebody will pop on and say, hey, Mr. Wowie, what's Wowie doing on there? You know, Jesus. Didn't tell nobody, just went on there and started a Wowie show. So I keep most of the burrs that I use, mainly, the majority, I guess you'd say, on my little wrist cuff thing here. It's from Klein tools. This is one of the tools down there in the description that you can find, because we're also Amazon associates. So we have some Amazon links down there. And again, that just takes you straight to Amazon, and you can find the tool really, really easily. And then we get a little kickback for the show. And any little kickbacks that we make for our show goes right back to you wonders out there, because we give back. We feel very, very strongly about that, giving back to our subscribers, our friends and family, the tribe that we like to call. Hey, Rhinestone Suzanne is here. How's it going, sister? Hey, my Aubrey. Working on my computer, and I got a little notification in the corner of my screen. Aubrey is my cousin, you guys. Much love. I love my family very, very much. And Rhinestone Suzanne, I call a sister, and love her very much too. How you guys doing? Ciao! Yeah, I just figured I'd come out back and do a little working on some washers in the backyard. Like, I gotta sit back here. You see if I'm looking around like I'm all sketchy, is because I got a cat back here. And as soon as I turn my attention away from little Miss Noni, you know what she does. She gets into the worst possible thing possible. She's on a leash. And I'm hoping if she sits there in her spots when she wants to go back inside, I'll put her back inside, and then I won't have to be distracted. Busy at work, but I'm listening for now. Thank you, Rhinestone. I really, really appreciate it. All I got are you and Aubrey right now. I just went on. I figured, hey, why not? I've got to sit out here with Noni anyways. And so a couple of the watchers that I'm going to be working on, I got, the majority of it done, but I got to get in here deeper. I like to have a really, really good pop of shadow up in here, up underneath the top part of the cloak. And for anybody who doesn't know, Wowwy'z watchers are a sentinel guardian wood spirit. They don't have faces because they're like these powerful beings from stories from old. And basically, they're a type of angel. Now, I know that there are people that might be aware of the books of Enoch and the older books in the Bible, some of them that were taken out of the Bibles that we have today. All of these stories about like the head angels, the head guardian angels. Now, some of them rebelled in these stories, but these aren't the rebellion ones. These are the good ones that look out for humanity. And the thing about our watchers is that they always hold a gift for the humans that they're coming to protect. And usually I use little gems, or a lot of these, if they're bigger, I make them into light pieces, like lamps. So they're holding like fire. And I love to use little fire bulbs, little flickering LED fire bulbs. Watchers are awesome, says, thank you, Rhinestone. Rhinestone Suzanne made me one of the most beautiful watchers that has ever been created, and it's like this galactic being, this galactic guardian with this cloak of gold and shimmer and a face, and in the watcher's face, she painted it like space, like literally like stars and planets and galaxies and all that in the face. Rhinestone did, and she sent me that. It's upstairs in the studio, and I just freaking love it. So yeah, these guys are kind of like a little ways done. Thank you, Rhinestone. I cherish it. I truly cherish it. And I got something coming your way. Probably with next week, I'll be sending your box, Rhinestone. So prepare for some Wowwy love. Oh, and Aubrey said, I got you set up on the little split screen. Awesome, thank you. Because even just as long as I got a couple people watching, hey, it's good for the old algae, because algae's hungry. Algae's starving, you guys. My little algorithm hamster, then, you know, if you hit like on the stream, she gets this little tiny pellet. But if you subscribe, she gets a yogurt drop. And let me tell you, algae loves yogurt drops. She can eat them nonstop. Yeah, and she needs it. She needs it. So these are watchers, you guys. So these guys have, you know, I just like them. It's a very, very simple. Hey, Lane is here. How's it going, brother? Thanks for popping in, Lane. Another wicked creator, you guys, and part of the Kindred Spirits tribe. Tribe worldwide. We are tribe strong. Yeah, Lane, I'm just out back working on some watchers, I figured. Why not, you know? Got my little Dremel set up here, and I got my cat on a cord. Oh, she actually looks like, if you guys give me one moment, I'm going to put her inside and then I don't have to be so distracted. Come on, homie. Yeah, go inside. Here we are. Sorry about that, guys. Got Noni inside, so now I don't have to be so sketchy. Ow. Yes. Yes, Lane. Everybody's just saying hello. Yep, Aubrey. Yep, Lane, that's my cousin. Aubrey Ranches is my cousin. And I love it that she's always here to support the channel and our little live streams here. So yeah, I don't know. I don't usually do this where, well, I did schedule it, but I only scheduled it like for 10 minutes ahead. So I usually don't do them this way. And we get a lot better turnout because everybody knows when it's Wowwy Wednesday. But I guess today's just Thirsty Thursday because Wowwy needs the hours and stuff. I'm going to set up, if we get accepted, that is, I'm going to set up the YouTube partner program because I want to be able to use some of these new features. I'm not so much worried about trying to get people's membership and money. I'm going to see, I'm probably set it at the very, very lowest dollar amount that you can. I just want to have the features that are unlocking because there's a couple new things. One is called shows and podcasts. These things I would like to start doing. We've always made our videos here at Wowwy'z Workshop a lot like a television program kind of format. And I've always stuck to that, even though it may not be the most popular at the time on YouTube. I just stuck to my guns and I'm going to continue doing so. And there's these new features and I want to be able to access them. So we're going to try and start, because there's 2 tiers. Whoa, you get 500 subs and then a certain amount of watch hours, and you can open tier 1. And then after you get 1,000 subs and I believe 4,000 watch hours within 1 year is how it works. And then you can go and then you get ad revenue and stuff. But we're slowly getting there. But I want to open the first tier and get access to the new shows feature. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. Ryan, someone's gonna be back. I remember to hit like that all by myself. Thank you, Aubrey. Yeah, hit that like, frick. Got 3 so far, guys. We're just darn tootin'. We're darn tootin' ourselves along. So, now that you've heard me ramble and jamble, let's kind of get set up here and do some carving. Now, I believe my phone is set. It's kind of set regardless if I like it or not, to cut out all the background noise. So you're probably not going to hear the Dremel. I don't know 100%. Please somebody say so when I start carving, if you can hear it or not. But I've used my phone this way, and I've tried to use music, my personal music that me and LaRue and I make. I tried to have that in the background, and this phone, the mic, just cut it out automatically. So it's probably going to do that with the sound of the Dremel. I'm not 100% positive though. Okay. Oh, add a question in Q and answer. Oh, well, that was cool, but it went away. It was a question and answer feature that you can turn on. So if that little thing pops up again, I might turn that on. If anyone will figure out stuff out there, it is you. Thank you, Aubrey. Yeah. Well, I was like, I heard about it, and then I was like, no, that's totally my style, right? So what you do is you make playlists, and you make shows out of the playlist, and all of your videos that fit that category or whatever subject or whatnot, right? And then you can make them so that people can watch them. It's just it's an easier way to binge watch, because YouTube is slowly trying to make its way into like the Netflix category, where people are coming for more long form videos, and that's right up old Wowwy'z. Knocking on wood. We're gonna frickin' make her. We're gonna frickin', because that's what happens when you have a vision and you have a style and you believe in yourself and you don't give a hoot, you know, about what the majority says you have to do to fit in, right? We are black sheep. We always have been a black sheep, and we work out of the box, and there are no freaking rules and stuff. We're going to do it, you know. When I get a vision and I'm set on it, I go for it, man. And you know, whatever, fake it till you make it, but we're gonna get there one freaking way or another. And if it means opening these new features and utilizing the new things, because YouTube is consistently growing and adding new things, and it's a very, very amazing tool and platform. And if you're listening, YouTube gods, we really appreciate you, and thank you for letting us be here. You're making my old wobbly knees hurt, Larry. Oh, the way I sit. Well, yeah, it's part of my back injury, right? Like I sit yoga wise, and also if I sit this way, it makes it easier, and my feet don't hurt. So I hope that's okay, you guys, seeing the old gut. Actually, the old gut's disappearing because I cut out all things sugar. Well, not all things sugar, but no candy and no gummy bears, which Wowie loves, and ice cream. I cut that out completely out of my, because I used to have ice cream every night, you know, as a treat after dinner. I'd have a big Yukon bar or whatever, you know. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Yeah, well, we would do a lot of crazy shit for a Klondike bar, let me tell you. But I cut them out, and I've been doing my daily things and stuff, and trying to keep active, walk Poppy, and then sometimes I walk to the post office and back, and then after a couple hours I go and walk Poppy. So I've been pretty active too for a busted up old Wowie, okay? Now, we're gonna carve some watchers. I'm gonna have to change the camera a little bit here, do a little, please don't get car sick, you know? And this is what I got, this is how I got set up. I'm in my little corner here, my little peace and serenity corner. So this is where my old wood pile used to live. And so it was this huge, it was on this coffee table made out of cedar that I've had for years, but it was made like really thick and chunky. And so that was sitting there, and so I had wood slid underneath it, and then I had wood piled on top of it, and then tarps over it. So this was just a big tarped kind of mound, and there was rats living underneath it, and it was just a major job. So I took all of that and cleaned that up, and I got a new little tool shed out back here, and that's the new the wood shed. So this is the new beautiful little serenity area that we got now for in this corner, now that it's all nice and cleaned up. Okay, I'll stop doing that so you guys don't freaking puke on me. I'm not here to make people sick, you know. I'm trying to freaking work on some watchers. So I'm just gonna fiddle and frick here a little bit until we get situated. I just can't cross my legs like that anymore. I wish I could, says Lane. Oh man, I feel you about our old bodies getting all creaky and messed up, you know, in whether it be injury or just old age. I sure am feeling it. I live with a back injury, so I can just, here, I'm going to zoom in a bit. Just pull this out a little bit here. Maybe that's a bit too much there, wow. And we'll get it so it's the washers in. We'll pull this thing back. So yes, it was been a major hot couple of days here on Vancouver Island, people. Major hot, but I ain't gonna be sitting here and belly aching because there's many parts of the world that are doing way worse. But it was really hot yesterday, and I actually did my live yesterday up in the studio. If you guys haven't seen that yet, I worked on Judith, the pet portrait yesterday. A very special drawing that I'm doing for a friend and tribe member, Mr. Aiden in Ireland, and I'm doing it for a friend of his. So I worked on it yesterday in the studio. Fuck that donut. Sorry guys, I really gotta just get this set so you guys can watch me. I guess that'll be okay like that. I don't know. I think we might have to get a bit more zoomed in on it, eh, Lane? What do you think? Multiple neck injuries here, just try and stay busy. Yeah, I hear you, Lane. Well, I know that you're one heck of a strong person, and despite your injuries, you really make some beautiful stuff, sir. And you just keep shining. Okay, I'm going to put on a little PPE here, and I got my bandana here thing on my neck because I slide it up over my mouth and nose, but I can still talk to you guys. But always, if you're out there, you're going to learn to power carve and do this kind of stuff. You cover your eyes and you cover your lungs. You make sure that you got those things covered because just don't be a nitwit. Okay, now I wonder, you know, Delon does it a lot like this. And so I could carve like that. I really don't know. Yeah, the ground don't want to do that. Fuck. Yeah, I think I just better go sideways, guys. Sorry about all that. Like that. Oh, goodness. Sorry, just gotta get it. I gotta make it perfect for you folks. Move this back a bit more. Okay. I'll get this on here. We're gonna make a little bit of magic. Thank you for being here. Okay, well, I got to get up underneath this. I got this little tiny Kutzall fine detail burr on there. This might be out a bit much. Always slide them in there and then out about 1/8 of an inch. Like not, I'll talk about that later. But I'm just gonna see how it likes it. You got to kind of test things and see how the wood likes it and how it's gonna take to the carving. one thing I forgot to grab was my little wrench to change my burrs, so I'll be right back with that. And we're back. Here I am. Here I am. So I've gotten in there and under the hood a bit. I'm gonna do a little bit more on this guy here before I change my burr out. Okay. Now I'm going to change it out. Let's go to the Kutzall Fine and Taper. Alrighty. And then we're going to pull back some of the meat on the face. I got my little set here of my Kutzall tried and trues. So actually, I think I want to use this one because it's got a little bit more meat. This would be a round nose 1/8 in coarse. I'm just trying to tell you guys how you would find them in the Kutzall site, right? Because it can sometimes be hard to navigate, but all you basically got to do is go to the 1/8 size shaft category and then look at all of them. And as you can see, slowly but surely, as you become more of a power carver, you get a little collection going, because they all do different things and they're amazing. That there is a very, very popular one that we use. That's called a Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr. That's a Kutzall Flame in coarse. That one there. See how they're the same shape but different flavor is what I like to say. And so yes, this is my kind of like tried and true, and then I got a couple small of the very, very new high fine detail set, and those are really, really handy. I haven't used that little guy yet, but so yeah, I got this off camera here that if you'll see me grab it and messing with. But this here one, it'll be good. So I want to pull back the meat on the face there a little bit farther, so this hood has more of an overhang and these aren't like the same. A huge thing about carving is all about layering, or not layer, but layers, the different layers and the heights. You know, that's how you can really make things realistic and stuff, is carving deep and getting different various depths of layers. Well, sorry, I'll just shut up and do what I gotta do here. Now, something I do when I'm doing the washers, and it's kind of like one of these just, this, although they're a faceless entity, like in the old stories that I've read of watchers and guardians and stuff, they were these beings of fire, right? That they were holding fire and they had faceless. It was just glowing and powerful, right? And that's always the image. I've done watchers where I've copper leafed the face, and then the little lamp, the light from the lamp, made it glow. Hey, we got hey, Hippie Christopher's Creations is here. How's it going, brother? There's some hearts for you guys. And good old Hobo Jack is here. How you guys doing? We're just out back carving some watchers and listening to me ramble bamble a little bit, folks. How you guys doing? Jack, how you doing? Chris, thanks for coming back again. You guys were both with me yesterday. I sure am a freaking lucky wowie. Hey, to have folks like you guys. So yeah, just working on some watchers here. Lane says, I just read your reply, Aubrey, a little flashback. Oh, they give me the dentist drill vibes and make me shiver a little bit. I'm up to 6 Kutzall Burr, says Lane. That's awesome. Could you hear the Dremel, the Dremel carving today? Everybody's saying hello. And Hobo Jack, and if you see here, Hippie Christopher's Creations, give him and Jack a subscription if you guys are watching this. I think most of my views will be people watching later on because nobody knew I was doing this today. But yes, all of these tribe members are really, really amazing creators in their own way, you know, and in their own arts. And I know that both Chris and Jack make a lot of magic. Now, the thing I was going to say is, although they don't have facial features, I like to try and do the face section in the same way as a person's face is, as it, like, if I don't want to leave the chin out too far, pushing out too far, and the forehead back. Usually the face here tapers in more as where your chin is, where our chins are. You know, I try and match that so that looks proper. I guess proportion is what I'm talking about, the proportions. So that's what I'm fussing with there. So, but that's looking good for me so far. It's popped in there a lot more, right? So this is where we were. This is where we want to be. And then after I've done some sanding and stuff, that should be good. I'm still gonna probably take more. Yeah, I can see it needs more down here on the chin's still popping out a bit too much. Yeah. Now we'll go on this one a little bit and do the same thing. Didn't want to do that, but hey, I did it, so gotta fix it. Now you may have seen there, I kind of fricked her up, right? Because I went up on the side there and took off some of the edge of the cloak. So now I'm gonna go back to that little burr that I had on there. That there is the fine detail flame burr. So it's this guy, this shape, but in tiny, okay? I'm gonna put that back on there and then just get up and under that hood and get a little bit more space in here. Because the thing is that these things have to be able to hold their crystal at the end, right? So you get in there, and we got to open up that space in there and then carve this way into it so that a crystal can slide in. So we have to get all that material out too. So I'm just going to continue to fiddle on there. Sorry, I was asking, can you guys hear the Dremel? Hey, Dad is here. Hello, Dad. How you doing, man? Yes, we can hear the Dremel working today. Ah, frick. Because I was messing with my settings, so I wonder if no, I can't do it. If I had the two computers, I could try putting on my music but it would be coming from the laptop, and I can't like pull Suno up while I'm streaming on the same computer and possibly F up the stream. So and I'm sorry if anybody, if that sound is a bit irritating, because I understand Aubrey mentioning the dentist. It does have a lot of a similar sound, but that's power carving. That is power carving. Okay, I'm going to do that a little bit around there, and let's see where we're at. The crazy thing about Aubrey mentioned the watchers and how she loved the concept and stuff. A crazy thing that I'll tell you guys is, it's a little story, if I may. Awesome, Dad. Great to see you. Oh, we got Hobo's got to head out. Thank you, Jack, for hanging out. You have a great day, sir. Much love to you. It's my 67th rotation around the rock, so I'm going for a few free adult beverages soon. Sorry, Larry, I know you... Oh, I wisely quit. Yeah. Well, no, that's okay, man. And happy birthday, Lane. Happy birthday, brother. These celebrations and hearts are for you, man. You have a great day. And everybody has their own, choices when it comes to alcohol and stuff. But I happen to be an alcoholic, and it runs on both sides of my family. So I can't drink responsibly. So, and because of my pain situation and the meds I'm on, yeah, alcohol is just a really, really bad idea for old Wowie. But that don't mean other people can't do it. Some people can actually handle it. It's rare, but some people can. And you just have a great birthday, man. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Much appreciated. Wowie loves you, Lane. Tribe strong. Tribe worldwide. We all. Tribe strong. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to this here. Oh, man. Sorry about my nails. That's nasty. See if I can get that right out of there right here on live television. That's gross. One time somebody told me, like, I saw on one of those weird facts things, that the majority, like, if you see people and they got stuff under their nails, that some of that is fecal matter. And I was just like, what the frick? Who's walking around with fucking fecal matter fingers? You need some work on your wipage if that's the case. Okay, shut up, Wowie. Now, I'm going to go back there, get in there a little bit more deeper. You see, the thing what I like to do with my washers is having a really, really, a good, like, I'll get in there with a little tiny carbide ball at some point. They're right here. Those are my Amazon links too down below, you guys. As is this cuff, a very, very handy cuff. But I'll get these little guys in there, and I'll get right up in there and carve out, like, negative space so that in the end it's a shadow. I love to have a shadow up in there. So that's why I constantly go back in there. Okay, but right now we're going to stick with this little guy. And I can still take a little bit away on the face too. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. I just felt a big beam of sun. Sorry, guys. Had a little singing break there. So yes, I saw that some terrible shit hit Chile. Flooding, I believe, is the main cause. I just want to say that it doesn't matter where you live on this planet and, who you are. I believe in 100% equality for everybody, every human being. And my heart breaks for everything that's happening, whether it be earthquakes or these. I just saw it on the news that Chile is declared a state of catastrophe, not a state of emergency, a state of catastrophe. That's freaking scary stuff, man. And I just want to say that my thoughts and prayers are with all those folks affected all over the world, man. It don't matter where you are. I'm so blessed to where I live, and we haven't had anything hit like that major to us, you know, knocking on wood. But my heart sure goes out to everybody being affected in the world right now. That's just what I wanted to say. We're slowly getting in there and getting some of that material out in behind in here. Taking a little break here to wipe my glasses. But something I wanted to say, you know how I was talking about how my heart goes out to everybody in the world right now, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, or what's affecting you. My love and prayers go out to you. There's a thing, it's a term called Meraki. Now, it's spelled M-E-R-A-K-I. Now, I used to think it was came from a Japanese word, but for some reason my brain is telling me it could have been originated Greek. I'm not 100% sure. Jesus, I got nasty stuff in there. All of the glue off my glasses is coming off. Now, Meraki is a term for when you put love into your art and your creations, you literally put your spirit into what you're creating, okay? And Meraki is the spirit left in the creation after it's been created and passed on to wherever it goes in this world, right? That's the whole idea about Meraki. Is the love and spirit invested into the creation, and it lives on. It lives on in there. I don't know exactly how it all works, but an inanimate object can hold a little cinder of spirit of the creator. Now, sometimes I think that maybe when I'm making these watchers, that is what they hold. Like these watchers might hold love and protection for the folks, you know, in catastrophes. Like that's it's kind of like what you're loading them with, because you're loading them with love, or you could also load something with hate. It all depends on which wolf you feed, right? And I choose, and I made this choice a long time ago, to feed the wolf that stands for love and protection, because we all have two, and the one that you feed is the one that lives, right? They're old indigenous tales. Anyways, as I'm carving these, I'm thinking about stuff like that, and I feel very, very strongly. And these little pieces, these little wood spirits, these little sentinel protectors, they hold that magic inside afterwards. I'm just checking the chat here. Oh my goodness, Claire is here. Hi, Claire. How you doing, sister? Hey, Curtis. Hey, Curtis Ruska, the electric whittler. Oh my goodness. It is Greek. They adapted it from the Ottoman, but they changed the meaning. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Hi, Josh. Curtis, electric whittler. You guys, Curtis, 56C, that is my old friend from my frickin' Edmonton days. Back when I was a wild and crazy frickin' nut bar of a teenager. I first started hanging out with Curtis. A great friend from way back. How you doing, Kurt? Thank you for popping in. And Claire's my soul sister from France. Just absolutely love Claire. And the electric whittler, Josh Helms, he's an amazing, amazing creator and artist and friend and brother. So this is like a great, gosh darn family reunion. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming. How you doing, Kurt? And how you doing, Claire? I've missed you so much on the channel, Claire, but I know you're doing stuff, you're vacationing and you're creating, and I know everybody's really, really busy, you know? And so that's why it means so much when you come and hang out with old Wowwy. Excellent. From the teenage, yes, Kurt. Hi, Claire. Much love to you. Curtis says, the picture I drew for him back then is still on my living room wall. That's so cool. I drew a picture. I copied Stephen King's It. It was one of the editions of Stephen King's It, where Pennywise's mouth is wide open and you're looking into his mouth. And I drew that for him in black and white and pencil way back in the day. And he's had that ever since on his wall, and that means so much to me, Kurt. Thank you. And did we ever have some fun times, didn't we, bud? Really, really crazy times. You know, and yes, we got into trouble and stuff, but hey, we were troublemakers, but we weren't troublemakers with evil intentions, you know? We were just here for a good time, not a long time, you know? So have a good time, because the sun can't shine every day. Huge fun, says Kurt. Yes, it was awesome, man. I'm good. It's been too hot to work. I feel ya. I feel you, Claire. I almost frickin' dropped yesterday. I had the AC unit going in the studio, and then I also had my DeWalt fan blowing straight up me from right below me. And I drew for 2 hours in the studio yesterday. Probably the hottest day of the frickin' year. So yeah, I figured today I'd come out here, sit on the grass, ground myself, and make watchers, you know, and hang out with you guys, or anybody that will upon me. I sure have missed you, Claire. You guys are just such amazing support to me, and I sure do notice when you don't see those names, right? And Josh, I know Josh Helms, the electric whittler, is a wicked creator, and I know he's been focusing on family and things that matter most in life. family prayer and those kinds of things. And I just want to commend you. You're such an awesome person and dad and husband, and when you do grace me with your presence, brother, and I mean that 100% sincerely, that it's truly appreciated. I love seeing you folks. I'll try and catch up. Oh yes, how we have changed over the years. I'm literally 8 years from retirement now. It's crazy. I love you, Josh. Thank you. It is crazy, Kurt. You know, thinking back about all the stuff that we did, and you know, it sure has been a crazy ride. And then I have another friend named Darcy Scott from the Edmonton days. Kurt might even remember Darcy Scott, but the last time I saw Darcy was on my wedding, and my wedding went kind of sideways. It wasn't the best wedding night, let me just say. Katie wants to redo it, you know, because it just got nuts. But I hadn't heard from Darcy since the wedding because everybody got crazy, and then afterwards they didn't want to talk to me because of what happened. But I found Darcy, not yesterday, but the day before. And thank God, he lives in Vancouver, but he's moving to Thailand in October. And so I'm going to be able to go and see my good friend. Darcy was one of my best friends from back in the day. And it's just so good to find somebody, you know, somebody that you constantly think of. And then being able to find those people, you know, it's like, you know, a lost chapter that you wish you could find so you could read again, and then all of a sudden they just pop up. And I was feeling really lonely that day, you know, feeling like I didn't have no friends, like physical friends to hang out with. I know I have my tribe, and I love all of you guys so much, but then there's physical friends that actually hang out with you, you know, in the real life. And I really miss having those types of friends. And then I just, you know, I was on Facebook, and then the thing popped up, people that you may know, and it said Darcy Scott, but it had no profile picture, and it had no cover picture, and nothing to post. So of course you think it's one of the rip-off accounts, right? But it wasn't. I just messaged, and I'm like, I'm looking for my old best buddy. Is this you? And sure as shit, he answered like within 5 minutes. And I was like, I am so lucky that I just followed that little voice inside and said, message him, you know, just try, just see what happens. And it was him. And I'm that really made old Wowwy'z heart feel a lot better that other day there. Drive strong. Oh, you gotta go. I'm an engineer now. Jesus. You've done really good, Kurt. I'm proud of you, man. I really am. Won't be the summer next summer, but we are going to drive out and see you. Hey, I am here and I am ready to see you. I need a boost to get me back at it. I haven't even touched my new Kutzalls yet that you sent. Have a great time, Lane. Happy birthday, brother. Appreciate you, man. I understand, Claire. I understand that you're doing really good, Kurt. I'm proud of you, man. But Claire, I understand the funk, getting in the funk. And I know you can break through and get back to it. The heat don't frickin' help, does it? It sure don't. But it's being a creator like you are, Claire, and like so many of the people watching. It's almost like a superpower, and you're not going to lose that. You have that. You have that magic inside. So don't be hard on yourself if you need to take a little break, sister. Because take the time you need, but just know that this world needs your magic. Big time it does. Okay, I'll do a little bit more carving, because people are only watching for about 2 minutes and then they're leaving. I can tell, I can see it on my thing. The analytics are telling me. So they're burning you guys. They're telling me how long you're staying. I'm just kidding. I know you guys are all busy. I just love you all and thank you for being here. So I'm gonna go back in here now and carve out some more of that area back there, because we're slowly getting it so I can start carving inwards so we can get that little gem in there, okay? So I'm just gonna do that quick. Sorry about the sound. You know, Kurt, talking about Kurt in our crazy days, a story that I've had to tell Kurt before, and I'm sorry that it's kind of a sad story, but life matters, doesn't it, Josh? I'm in a funk myself, says the electrical editor. Aw, I feel you, Josh. I bought some nice little pieces of driftwood back from the coast, so perhaps I'll make a couple of pieces from that before I pick up my saw again. I think that would be great, Claire. And driftwood is personally one of my very, very favorite things to carve. And I believe in you, sister. I know you can do it. But I was going to say there, the story, and this is a story I've had to tell people, Kurt. Remember, Kurt had a guy, he lived in a complex, little apartment kind of complex in West Edmonton, just a spit throw from West Edmonton Mall and the high school that I went to. So my high school was like literally 2 blocks, well, maybe 3 blocks away from West Edmonton Mall. So I got to go there at lunchtime, and it was just a grand time in my life, man. I miss that mall so much. I don't miss the city per se, but I sure miss that mall. But anyways, we were at Kurt's house, and he had a person in the complex, and they were shooting cats with BB guns. The frickers, man. And Kurt had a bunch of kitties. And so one time I was over there hanging out at lunch, because we would come over at lunch and just do what teenagers and young adults do when they hang out. And one of his kittens came in, and she had a BB in her head. And I remember, because I had to hold the cat down while Kurt took tweezers and got that thing out. Do you remember that, Kurt, if you're still here? I've had to tell people that story before, man. It frickin' traumatized me. Remember that? That was crazy, dude. And it's like one of those things that I'll never forget, because all we could see was just a little tiny glint. It looked like a big lump on her, but you couldn't tell what it was. And then it had a little tiny hole, and you could see the reflection of metal in there. And then we figured it out, that it was a frickin' BB. And then as he was pulling it out, and the hole went bigger and bigger, and then when that thing popped out, man, like, the cat was fucking losing it. And it was one of those things where it's just, it looked so much bigger when it popped out than you thought that it was. And it was just like, what the frick, man? How could somebody do that to a beautiful little kitten? But there are fucking monsters out there, you guys. There are monsters out there. But that's something that I've told that story, Kurt, to people, and I'll never forget it because it traumatized me. Okay, a little bit more carving. Now, something I want to tell folks when they were like thinking, like what is this all for? Where do you go from here? What happens with the washers after you get this part carved out, right? Well, the thing with the washers is that they are guardians of mankind. So within being that, they battle the things that are out to hurt us. So, AKA the demons, you know, the bad guys. So these watchers, that's what they're doing when they're not watching over us and in our homes and whatnot. These watchers, you know, battled the demons from hell. That's my backstory, okay? So after I get them to the point where they're carved and I can fit in the gem, the next step is shosugi banding, you guys. So the shosugi banding is burning something like to a frickin' crisp. You burn it so much that it looks like cracked alligator skin. And you know when you burn wood and then all you gotta do is hold the flame to it and it looks like wood from a fire, from a fire pit, like it's cracked, like alligator skin and glowing, right? That's how much you burn it. That's how much you char it to get a good shosugi band effect. And I do it to everything on here. I just burn this, man. I burn it so that it's on fire. And then after you're done and it's calmed down, and you have to be very, very careful when you're doing this kind of stuff because you don't want to be burning and then because afterwards you take a brass brush, a wire brass brush, and I guess you dust it all, you sand away, but it's not sanding away because the grain remains, okay? It's taking the brush and taking the char off with the wire brush, but the grain, the harder grain remains. And so you get this effect where all of the grain pops, really, really beautiful. And then it takes the dyes or the stains, see like this back part here, when I show Sugi by that, all of that is gonna like pop out and raise, and it just is beautiful. A big part of being a wood carver and being a lover of wood and working with wood is you get really weird about things like grain and stuff. Like there's just the beauty of wood. It's so beautiful and there's so many different things about it. So the shosugi band is one of the steps coming up next. I won't be doing it today, but I'm just trying to explain, you know, what goes into creating these watchers. And when that happens, man, that is just crazy, and I love that part. So that comes. I can see a couple here spots where I went too deep and stuff, so I'm gonna have to I constantly balance that out. But I got a lot of material in here to work with, right? So it's okay if I, you know, go a bit too deep in one area, and then I just balance it all out because it has to look level and even before I go to the next phases of burning it. I'm just gonna catch up with the chat here, see what people are saying. Well, you gotta go, Josh. Curtis has gotta go too. Lucas was his name. Well, lunch is over here. Gotta get back to the office. Fantastic to see you. We'll talk soon. Thank you, Kurt. That's wicked, brother. These hearts are for you. I gotta get going. I hope everyone has a great day. Much love, tribe. Thank you, Josh, for popping in and hanging out, man. I really appreciate it. You know what, Claire? I was just going to say it. I didn't bring up my sanders, but you know what? I'm going to go grab my little tin. Thank you. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. So yes, Claire Bear said it. What about the sanding, Wowie? Well, I don't have my electric sanders out here with my Pete Blair mandrels, but what I do have is my special sanding tin. Now, these are something I got from Lee Valley Tools. They're called sanding twigs from Durasand. I don't have these in my Amazon or my things. I've just got them But they're just little tiny sticks for getting into those little areas where it's, you know, harder to reach. But they're not super, super strong. So what happens when I use them is I constantly I wear them out, and then I bust them. I bust off the piece that's worn out, and then continue on. But those are kind of neat. Sanding sticks. Sanding twigs are called. Those were from Lee Valley Tools. Lee Valley Tools is in America as well. And I'm just a sanding freak. I got all sorts of stuff in here. Now, these things are really cool, and these, I don't know if they're in my, I added them before. These are on Amazon. If they're not in my links right now, I'm going to add them, and I'll add them like later, like today when I get off of here. Because I've added them on my maker's video, but I don't know, because the links that are below are automatic links that go on every live. But these are really, really cool. They're rounded on one end. Okay, pointy on the other. They give you an ample supply of refills, but then you can also buy refill kits on Amazon too. And these things are called Sanding Detailer 20 replacement belts. So this is the replacement belt pack that I already bought, because I'm just like that. I like to, if I know something's out there and I could use it in the future, I will get it, right? And it tells you which ones, and the colors are the different grits, okay? And there's a color on the inside, so you know which one is which. And then they go to the corresponding little tool there. That's how it's supposed to work, I think. So yes, I use these. I got other things in here. Scotch-Brite, just sanding pads, because I'll just hold it in my hand and chicka. But yeah, it's time to do a little bit of sand in here. Usually I use, like, it's why Claire mentioned it, is because I'll do just as much sanding on a project as I will carving. And it's crazy by the end of it how much sanding I do. But it's a major part of how I create. When our pieces are done, it is like super smooth. I try to erase every maker's mark, and that's just my style. Some carvers, having the maker's mark show, it's kind of part of their style. I know, you know, people that work with knives and gouges, sometimes when they're done a piece, you can see all the little scoops from the chisels and stuff, and that makes it's a really cool look. And I want to try that, like make a gnome and have the finish with all of the little knife marks and stuff, like, but it's just not the way I carve. Like, I carve with mainly power carving, and then I sand the living crap out of everything. And I have a sanding machine that Pete Blair made for me that's specifically for just sanding with a slow speed motor with a flex shaft on it, and it's just for using the sanding mandrels. And it is a humdinger. The motor is way bigger than a regular Dremel, and he made it so I could mount it to my wall. And that's in the creation station, and that's like what I do most of my sanding with, is that machine. It's been like a godsend for me. How one little tool can like totally affect somebody. And act of kindness, you know? He doesn't have to do those things for me. He chooses to. And it sure has mattered in my creative journey. All right, so yeah, just getting these nice and level and sanded, nice and smooth. And I just like to have that kind of thick edge around, you know? It's just the way I like my cloaks to look. Like, I'll go deeper in there, but then I'll sand like here. So they have this long kind of edge at the end. And it just looks very, very uniform and clean, if you know what I mean. Let me just see here what... Hey, Stevens S. Carvings is here, and Roy is here from Roy's Timber Art. How you doing, folks? There's Claire. I knew it, she says. I'm doing good, Roy. How are you doing, sir? Dinner is ready. I gotta go. Okay, Claire, thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love. Thank you, sister. Have a great dinner. Give Pete my best. Was it Peter? Yes, it is Peter, your husband. And just have an amazing day, sister. Much love to you. Thank you for popping in and hanging out. Love ya. And Mr. Roy, he is a wicked, wicked carver from over in the UK. And speaking of the UK, we got Stevens S. Carvings in the house. How you doing, Steven? That's pretty funny, Steve. Maybe your ears were burning, but I was talking about you with somebody earlier in the messenger. But that's all I'm going to say. But yes, you were the topic of conversation earlier on for old Wowie. And, but it's not a bad thing. Just talking about people that I admire, that support the channel, and people that I want to give back to. And yeah, I guess that's what my main point, Stephen, was. I was talking to somebody about you earlier on today, and it was just about my gratitude for your support and always being here for me on our channel. And really, really appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Have a good night, Claire. Nice to hear from you, says Hippie Christopher's Creations. Glad I could spend a little time with you. Tribe strong, she says. Bye, Tribe XX. Love you, Claire. These hearts are for you, sister. Yes. Just checking my analytics there. We're okay. The connection is good. I eventually got monetized yesterday. Did you, Roy? Congrats, brother. That's awesome, man. I was just speaking to the folks that I'm going to apply for the first tier. I got to do it when the wife is with me, because our YouTube channel is Katie and I. Like, she helps me with eventually for the money part of it. We're doing it together, and it's for tax reasons and whatnot. But I have to do it when I sign up for the partner program. I have to have her with me for the tax information and all of that kind of stuff for eventual payouts. But I just want to get into the first tier right now, and memberships will be available. But like I say, I don't expect anybody to pay to be a member. I'm going to set it at the very, very lowest rate. But what I want, Roy, is to be able to access the new features that YouTube is starting. They got these new features called shows, and podcasts have been around a while, but these new features that I want to try and use, but they're only available to people that are part of the YouTube partner program. So I am going to try. I am going to apply in the next couple of days. Congratulations. You need to make another email so it's not the same as your bank details? Oh, okay. Understood. And then it gets does it get put in your PayPal or something, or how does that work? I guess I'll have to learn. I won't bug you, sir, about the information. But very, very, very much congratulations to you, because you've been working hard, sir, and you deserve it. You deserve all of the subs, and you have my support, man. Congratulations. And thanks for still being here, Christopher's Creations and Stevens S. Carvings. You guys sure are awesome. Thank you. I truly, truly appreciate you. Okay, a little bit more here, because I went all wonky. I got all wonky and crazy in there. So I went in too deep there. And then I kind of fricked things up in there. So I just got to try and fix that a little bit so my eyes like it a bit better. Sorry for the sound. I really chewed it up back there. Old Wowie done did. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Thank you for you guys' patience. So yes, crazy, crazy old world we're living in. I was watching my channels about all the new UFO drops, and there's about to be another big, huge trove of files dropped in the next week or so. And rumor around town is that they've been like drip feeding us so far, these videos that they've been releasing, because they don't want people to have shock, okay, and start freaking out. So they're doing things kind of in batches so that people can adapt and slowly learn what's going on. Because in my opinion, the universe is like the frickin' ocean. It's teeming with things. It's way bigger, and sometimes you got to go a lot farther to find things, but they're out there, and it's teeming with life, I believe, okay? And a lot of other people believe too, and there's a lot of evidence out there, you guys, and it's slowly being released. And some big ones are coming. Like the talk around in those areas is that they're going to start releasing like high resolution pictures, finally, like gun camera pictures from the military, and high like color 4K, not these fuzzy freaking potatoes, you know, in all of the radar and stuff, and in stuff that we can barely read, you know. These are up close, high quality pictures. That's just the rumor, but I've been, you know, sitting on pins and needles because I've studied that topic my whole life, for many reasons, many deep reasons. And I'm just I am literally like obsessed with the topic. And how can you not be? Like, it's the biggest story in humankind, you know. The others, finally, when we were finally told that there are others out there, that's the biggest story, in my opinion. The big things are coming, you guys. Be careful of the scammers here. There's people who will try and hack you. They only tell you what they want you to believe. We are all guinea pigs. Yeah, I understand, Roy. Here, these hearts are for you. Those are good points, man. Hey, Grumpy is here. How's it going, brother? How are you doing? Speaking of aliens, here comes old Grumpy with the old alien emoji and the green heart. Thank you, brother. Thanks for popping in. Oh, you know, it's old Wowie just sitting here, talk about aliens and carving watchers. You know, Wowie. What time are we at? Holy shit. 11:47. No, 12:47, sorry. My wife is going to text. I don't know what's going to happen on my phone when she does. So if the live all of a sudden, yeah, I don't know. I may have to sign off here, you guys. I didn't know it was that time already. Yep, Mr. Roy's in the house. Christopher's Creations is here. Grumpy, back there in the background. We had a really good little turnout today. Carving some watches. Here, just one more little second. We're getting there. We are getting there. Getting in there deep, guys. Getting in there deep. Yeah, I'm liking that. Good and deep. Alrighty. Well, we got in there nice and deep. Now I know I can see now that I got enough area where I can start messing with that hole that's gonna have to come. So that's always a major thing. Can you guys see this on the... So when I do the hole for the gem, you have to get it in there, but at an angle so that you're not gonna rip the face up. But it has to be as straight up and down as you can get it, right? Because it has to look like it's holding it in its hands. So if the hole is too angled like this way, it don't look right. Like it looks like the gem is like poking out. But you want it to look like it's holding it. Like imagine somebody holding a candle in a cloak, right? That's the end look that we're trying to go for here. Hey, my brother's here. How? Oh, 10:44. Yeah, my computer is 3 minutes out of sync. So what time is it on the... So it's 12:48 on my phone. How you doing, Dare? Yeah, I just thought I'd jump on here, bro, and do a couple, like, working on these washers for wonders out there. Yes, these are going to subscribers. Yeah, I really freaking made that. I'm gonna have to carve that face in a lot more deeper now, because I went in too much in there. Jesus, wowie. So that's the thing about wood carving, you guys. It's really, really easy to take that material off, but putting it back on is a different story. But yeah, the wife is going to call at about 11:05, or I mean 1:05 my time. So that means we got 10 minutes yet, you guys. We got 10 minutes. So how's your day going there, Brody? That sure is cool that Christopher's Creations has inquired about one of my brother's copper handmade Guardian lanterns, which are just amazing. Anybody who knows me has seen, because I post pictures of it, I have 3 lanterns now in my home, and there's nothing else like them in the whole wide world. And I mean, I ain't shitting anybody watching. Like, if you don't know Two Brothers One Vision and myself, the art that my brother makes out of copper is just freaking mind-blowing. And I'm not just blowing smoke up his butt. He's earned it. He's earned it. And Hippie's Christopher's Creations there is a really, really great friend of ours, and Two Brothers One Vision. And that's my brother and I, our art together. And Chris has inquired about a lantern to Darren. So we're gonna be talking about that in the old background and see what we can get figured out. But that sure means a lot, man. It sure means a lot to us. So, folks, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go. This is bugging me. I gotta hit this. Yeah, that's better. Now this though, I gotta really. Yep. I did it to myself, I did. All right. I'm slowly evening them out there. But I think the main thing I want to show when I just work on watchers like this is how much time and work goes into such a minimal type of basic figure, you know? They're not, just because they're kind of basic when it comes to features and stuff, that isn't a lack of work and Meraki invested. No. You see that? The old Wowwy'z workshop with the heart? That's because much love is put into these things. And I just like showing what goes into it. And just hanging with you tribe. It's just so much, you guys are so much of a part of my life now. It's like, I can't even imagine, you know, how it was before finding all of you guys. It was a lot lonelier of an existence for not only me, but Darren too. And the tribe, you know, welcomed us, and the tribe has grown with us, and it's just, it means a hell of a lot for you folks to come and hang out is what I'm trying to babble about. Okay? Can't count you the time when you're enjoying yourself. I know, eh? I know, you guys. Thank you, Happy Christopher's Creations. We sure appreciate you, man. So with that, guys, I think I'm gonna call her. Here, I'll just fix this for the last little bit, last couple of minutes. And you guys can look at my stupid mug. Ah, Jesus creeps. Jesus creeps, Wowie, what are you doing? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good little shower. Good little shower is coming my way. It means a lot to me. Brother Timber says you created something very special here. Your content brightens people's days more than you probably realize. Oh, thank you, Roy. You know, much love to you, sir. Because that's what we're trying to do. All of this stuff about being a lighthouse and, you know, putting love into our work, and not only our work, but trying to put love out into this world with this channel. It's the main reason that I continue to fight, you know, and fight these algorithms and all this thing and this reach. Like, I feel that we've been kept in this little box when we got so much to offer the world, and we just need that chance to really have a blowout, one of our videos to just take off. And I give my word that if we're granted with those opportunities, we are not going to waste them, and we are going to be lighthouses, and we're going to shine, and we're going to give love and support out to our fellow human beings. You're darn frickin' tootin' on that. Oh, thank you, Chris, man. That means so much to me, you saying that. I truly love you, brother. You're a wolf brother and part of our inner pack. You really, really are. Thank you. Thank everybody that's been here. If Aubrey's still listening in the background, our cousin, much love to her. Another person that just just is amazing, and an amazing support to us. There's nothing like it. There's no other gift like it, having support from the tribe and your people. Aubrey says, that was fun. An extra dose of goodness for the week. Oh, thank you, sister. Cousin. You're my cousin. Royce Timberart says, Lord, please protect our brave military members serving today. Surround them with your divine strength. Grant them wisdom. Cover them with your peace. And bring them home safely. Amen. Amen, Roy. Amen. Thank you for that. And if I may add to that, Lord, look over all of our brothers and sisters on that planet. All of these people being affected in such huge ways by weather and catastrophe. Please look out for each and every one of them. And in Jesus' name I pray for everybody. Amen. With that, guys, this isn't WIOP Wednesday. This is just Sitting in the Background Thursday. Making Watchers with Wowie. Brought to you by Two Brothers, One Vision. There is no YouTube without you. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out with old Wowie. And the babies, the fuzzy babies out back. I better go get them. He's probably climbing up the frickin' screens and we're making a goddamn mess. Okay? Sorry for using the words name in vain. Thank you all for hanging out for me. And keep a watch, because I'm going to start doing this more throughout the weeks, just randomly. I'm just going to jump on here and try and get that algorithm to know us a little bit better. So with that, guys, much love to all y'all. Be good to yourselves and to your people. We're all in this together. Please hit that like before you go. Subscribe if you may, if I may. And with that, Wowie out.